Let's get right to it. If your SEO strategy is still all about ranking one single page for one single keyword, well, it's already obsolete. AI search engines are here, and they've completely rewritten the rules of the game. So over the next few minutes, we're going to walk you through the brand new playbook for how you can actually win in this new era.
Okay, let's kick things off with a number that should really make you sit up and listen. 3.2. That's how many more times AI engines are citing content that's part of a structured topic cluster, compared to just a lonely, isolated page. This isn't just a small adjustment, you guys. This is a massive shift in how expertise is seen and, more importantly, how it's rewarded.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with what this new AI search world even looks like, then dive into why clusters are so powerful. The real meat of this explainer, though, is going to be a 6-step roadmap for you to build your own. After that, we'll cover the signals that really move the needle, and, of course, how to know if you're actually succeeding.
All right, Section 1, the new AI search. So why exactly is that old playbook totally useless now? Well, for years, the goal was pretty simple, right? Rank one page for one keyword. That whole strategy is just failing now because AI engines don't just think in terms of pages. They think about brands and their complete authority on an entire subject.
And this chart, wow, this really just says it all. I mean, look at that performance gap. When you've got a single isolated page, it gets cited maybe 12% of the time. But pages inside a well-built cluster, that number rockets up to 41%. The way you structure your content isn't optional anymore. It's one of the biggest drivers of your visibility.
So, okay, if clusters are the big answer, what in the world are they, really? This section is all about defining that core concept and, getting under the hood to see why AI models find them so trustworthy. Here it is in a nutshell. A topical authority cluster is way more than just a blog category. It's a very deliberate content architecture. You have one big, central, super comprehensive pillar page, and it's surrounded by anywhere from 5 to 30 really specific supporting articles. But here's the magic part. They're all interlinked, creating this dense web of information all about one single topic.
So why does this setup work so darn well? It really boils down to 3 key things. First, you get a bigger retrieval surface area, which is just a fancy way of saying you have more lottery tickets. You have more chances for the AI to find your stuff. Second is grounding confidence. When an AI sees that you've answered not just one question, but tons of related questions, its confidence in you as a reliable source just shoots up. And finally, there's structural recognition. The AI literally looks at your internal links like a map of your expertise.
And that last point about structure is so critical. We've seen that having the right internal linking strategy inside a cluster can boost your chances of getting cited by 2.7 times. It is literally the glue that holds this entire strategy together and tells the AI, hey, this page right here is the most important one.
Okay, now for the main event. Let's get tactical. This is the actionable framework, your 6-step process for building your very own citation-winning cluster. This is your roadmap, from the initial idea all the way to execution.
And here are the 6 steps we're going to cover. First, choose the right pillar topic. Then, map out every related question. Third, assign those questions to specific pages. Fourth, write the content in a very specific way that AIs love. Fifth, link it all together. And finally, add a technical layer with schema. Let's walk through each one.
Step 1, choose that pillar topic. And please, first things first, don't just chase vanity metrics like search volume. Your pillar topic has to be a subject that matters directly to your bottom line, to your business goals. Before you go all in, check both the search demand and what the AI answers currently look like. You're looking for an open lane where you can win.
Next up, you're going to become an expert researcher. Your mission is to map out every single question your audience has about this topic. And I mean use everything. Google's People Also Ask section, Reddit forums, transcripts from your sales calls. You can even ask an AI. You want to be exhaustive here, aiming for at least 15 to 30 really solid subtopics.
Okay, so you've got this huge list of questions. Now you have to organize it. The broad, high-level questions, those are going to become sections on your main pillar page. All the super specific, how-to or what-if type questions, those get their own dedicated cluster articles. The whole point is that every single piece of content has a very clear and distinct job. Now, this is a massive tactical advantage, so listen closely. When you're writing, don't do a long, winding narrative introduction. Answer the question directly in the very first sentence. Pages that follow this definition-first approach get cited way more often because you're making it incredibly easy for the AI to just pull out a clear, perfect answer. Honestly, this is where most strategies just completely fall apart.
You have to be super disciplined about this. Every single cluster page has to link back to the main pillar. The pillar has to link out to every cluster page, and then related cluster pages should link to each other. This is how you create that dense web structure that AI see as real authority.
And finally, the technical layer. Schema is basically structured data that you add to your page's code. Think of it like a label that you're explicitly giving to the search engines, telling them, hey, this page is an article, or this part is a how-to guide. It's one of the top predictors for getting cited, so whatever you do not skip this step.
So you've built the structure. Awesome. But what separates a good cluster from a truly great one that gets cited all the time? Well, it comes down to a few extra quality signals that AI engines are always looking for.
Think of it like your content has to pass through 3 quality gates. First, evidence. You gotta back up your claims with links to primary sources. Second is EEAT, which stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. That just means showing off your author's credentials and building brand trust everywhere. And third, freshness. AI citations really drop off for content that's older than 90 days, so you have to keep your key pages updated.
Now with a new strategy comes a totally new way to measure success. Those traditional metrics like keyword rank for one page, they just don't tell the whole story anymore. You have to start tracking the performance of the cluster as a complete system.
This table really shows the shift. Instead of just looking at keyword rank, you're now measuring something called citation share of voice. Think of it this way. For all the important questions in your topic, what percentage of the time does the AI mention you? You also need to start separating out AI-referred traffic from your normal organic traffic. It's a huge shift from just measuring rankings to measuring real, tangible outcomes.
I absolutely love this takeaway because it's so empowering. This strategy is not about having the biggest marketing budget or publishing 100 articles a day. A smaller, focused brand that decides to go incredibly deep on just a few core topics can absolutely outcompete a massive publisher that only covers those topics shallowly. Focus always wins.
And that really brings us to the end. You have the full roadmap now, from high-level strategy all the way down to measurement. So the only question left is the one you see right here. What is the first pillar you are going to build? Pick that topic that really matters to your business and get started today. Good luck.